Holding a McDonald's hamburger in your hand makes you feel full, happy, even satisfied. Few people know that each hamburger is created from a super-fast production line, where every step is operated by modern machines, precise to every detail. Today, we will step into the secret kitchen of McDonald's, where the huge processes that create millions of hamburgers every day are hidden. How are they mass-produced? What terrible secrets are hidden behind the soft buns and juicy beef? From the hamburger that hasn't spoiled for 14 years to the lawsuits related to obesity. Everything will be peeled back layer by layer, just like the hamburger you are holding in your hand. Production line of millions of hamburgers. Everything is programmed from the dough proofing, kneading, to baking, said a former employee who worked for many years in the bread factory in an interview. There is no room for randomness. Every loaf of bread produced must be uniform down to the millimeter, as if it were born from the same mold. Every morning, in the vast factory, modern industrial machines wake up to knead and proof the dough, not just once, but twice. Why is it so complicated? Because the dough needs time to breathe, to become light, spongy, easy to expand, and easier to transport to the ovens. Each round ball of dough is then dusted with a light coat of dry flour to keep it from sticking to the machine. No one wants flour all over their equipment. The process is like a technological ballet, rhythmic, precise, and aesthetically pleasing. The balls of dough, after their second breath, are placed in specialized molds, where they continue to rise like a cotton pillow. And then the ripe moment arrives. They are put into giant ovens with extremely precise temperature control systems. Automatic egg sprayers work like graffiti artists, coating the cakes with a golden sheen, then sprinkling sesame seeds on top. Then it all went into the giant oven, where the temperature, time, and humidity were calculated down to the second. Within minutes, the whole place was filled with aroma. The cake came out shiny, golden, and light, just like the ones you see in commercials, but so much more real. Each burger here is only about 250 calories. That is the mandatory standard. If you make one mistake, the whole batch has to be thrown away, said a longtime employee at the factory. At McDonald's, everything is strictly controlled, with multiple layers of cross-checking. And if there's even a small mistake, the entire batch of burgers can be thrown out immediately. After baking, the cakes are packaged, cooled properly, and shipped immediately to stores. Thanks to that, when you order, the cake only needs to be heated for a few dozen seconds to be as delicious as fresh from the oven. Every day, the chain serves more than 69 million people in more than 100 countries. And what McDonald's is most proud of is not that number, but the fact that the recipe for the bun has remained virtually unchanged since 1948. It's still the same soft, golden brown, toasted bun, topped with sesame seeds. That's what makes the difference and makes the hamburger not just a food, but a part of the global cultural memory. McDonald's beef is always perfect. Just looking at the way they make their beef is enough to see why many people are attached to hamburgers throughout their childhood. One veteran employee shared, pointing to the beef production line, where seemingly simple ingredients are treated with the same seriousness as in a laboratory. The burger, according to the staff, always starts with the highest quality beef, usually the shoulder or sirloin. There are no additives or leftovers. The beef must come from the happiest cows, because every piece looks juicy, evenly colored, and has just the right amount of moisture. Next, the meat is ground, not just once but multiple times to ensure perfect smoothness and adhesion. And even when seasoning, they are not ostentatious. Just a little salt, a little pepper, but in the right proportions, to retain the natural sweetness of the meat instead of masking it. Mixing the meat also requires technique. They don't mix by hand, they don't mix roughly. The machine does this step. The machines knead the meat until every little muscle fiber is mixed with the spices. That's how each burger is still juicy and fragrant when fried. Once shaped, the patties are deep frozen, not frozen, but to preserve their freshness, locking in texture and flavor. From there, they are packaged in sterile conditions, ready for the journey to thousands of stores, where they continue their journey to become the heart of the world's favorite hamburger. Pickles, not just a side dish. Everyone thinks that pickles are just a sideshow to a hamburger, but in fact, they are the key to the overall flavor. The mild soreness mixed with a little saltiness that awakens the taste buds with each bite. And behind that thin slice, there's a whole process that makes you nod in admiration. It all starts with carefully selected melons, then washed as if they were about to go on stage. McDonald's isn't kidding when it comes to cleanliness, because cleanliness keeps the crunch, and crunch keeps the soul of the burger. The melon is then soaked in a standard brine solution. The saltiness not only helps preserve the fruit, but also allows its delicious flavors to develop over time. It's a delicate combination of natural preservation and keeping the crispness of each slice. And you know what? They're so delicious you can eat them individually as snacks. Just remember, don't overdo it. Because like anything delicious in life, pickles should be eaten in moderation. Sauce, the soul of the perfect burger. If meat is the heart, then sauce is the soul. After the bun, pickles, and beef patty are prepared, the next step is sauce, the indispensable part to create harmony in the burger flavor. No matter how delicious a burger is, without sauce it is like a song without a climax. And you will be surprised to know that the process of making these drops of sauce is very sophisticated and methodical, not unlike a perfume factory. Tomatoes are the star ingredient, and McDonald's treats them like a luxury spa. Not only are they washed, but each one is polished and inspected. Not only are juicy tomatoes delicious, they're also high in fiber, which aids digestion. Plus, the powerful antioxidant lycopene in tomatoes helps reduce the risk of chronic disease and control inflammation. All are processed by a huge automated system, which is not only clean but also saves time, ensuring consistent quality. After being thoroughly soaked, the tomatoes are carefully sorted by workers to remove any dirt or debris left over from the washing process. See those giant steamers? That's the tomato processing center. Tomatoes are steamed for a precise amount of time and temperature. This not only kills bacteria, but also naturally peels the skin, making it easier to peel without damaging the inside. Here, the technicians fine-tune each step. If there is any skin left, the fine rollers remove it all, ensuring that every tomato is bare, revealing its juicy red flesh. Next, conveyor belts carry the tomatoes for a second inspection before they are sent to the blender. Once pureed, the ketchup is collected in large bags, carefully stored to prevent spoilage, and before processing, a small portion is taken out for quality control. Once the ketchup is ready, a vacuum system removes excess air and unwanted pressure, keeping the ketchup thick and fresh. Then the secret ingredients are added. That's what makes McDonald's taste so unmistakable. Everything is mixed together in a high-tech system, creating a smooth, flavorful tomato sauce. Look closely and you'll see top-secret spices being added to each batch of sauce. No one knows the exact recipe, but no one can deny the deliciousness. Now the elegant bottles of sauce are ready. The staff ensures that each bottle is filled to the utmost precision, without spills or drips. Then, the automatic sealing process ensures that everything is clean, neat, without a single flaw. The labels are neatly attached, providing all the information: brand, ingredients, nutritional values, and storage instructions. What's special? The entire process is 100% automated, eliminating all the monotonous manual work, saving labor, and increasing productivity. Meanwhile, other departments have started preparing fresh shredded lettuce, ready for the final step of creating a perfect burger. McDonald's isn't just selling fast food, they're delivering a globally standardized dining experience where every single ingredient is treated like a work of art. Lettuce, the secret crunchy leaves that keep your burger perfect. An employee working at McDonald's Hamburger factory shared, "A delicious burger is not only thanks to the meat or bread, but also thanks to the lettuce that retains its freshness without making the bread moist or soft." When you eat and feel the crispness of the lettuce, you are feeling all our dedication. Lettuce is more than just a garnish. It plays the role of an unsung hero in the burger's structure. The fresh green leaves not only add color but also help absorb excess juices from the meat and sauce, protecting the bun from getting soggy and keeping it soft and fragrant. First, the lettuce leaves are carefully selected from farms that meet high-quality standards. Then, they are put through a multi-stage washing system, ensuring that dirt, insects, and bacteria are completely removed. Next comes the crucial step: drying using precision pressurized airflow technology. You'll be amazed as the gentle yet powerful airflow blows through each lettuce leaf, sweeping away excess moisture without crushing its naturally crisp structure. Once dry, the lettuce is chopped to the perfect size to fit the bun. Not too big, not too small. Each piece is precisely adjusted as if preparing for a culinary performance, and now it's ready to contribute to the perfect bed of your burger: crispy, fresh, not soggy, and still green until the last bite. Mustard sauce, the addictive secret that no one expected. Stop for a moment and feel this. Mustard, the sauce you may or may not love, but no one can deny that it is the element that makes the burger explode with taste. At McDonald's, mustard sauce is more than just a mix of flour and water. It's a painstaking blending process with a proprietary recipe that creates a flavor that can't be found anywhere else. It all starts with pure mustard seeds, carefully selected for their strength, spiciness, and moisture. After being ground in a high-speed grinder, the mustard mixture is blended with vinegar, salt, sugar, and undisclosed spices. But you can feel the slight sourness, spicy heat, and sweet aftertaste spreading on the tip of your tongue. Once blended, the sauce is vacuumed to remove air bubbles, resulting in a smooth, non-separated texture. Finally, it is bottled under sterile conditions and stored at the ideal temperature until it is ready to explode on your burger. Think a great hamburger is all about the meat or the bun? Try a McDonald's burger without mustard sauce, and you'll see why they call mustard the secret sauce of the burger. French fries, the perfect complement to a hamburger. A burger is incomplete without fries, right? But did you know that behind the simplicity of McDonald's fries is a meticulous and professional journey? Not just cut and fry, as many people think. McDonald's golden, crispy French fries begin life in vast fields where the soil is fertile and the weather is ideal for growing potatoes. In early April, as the weather warms, the first potato seeds are planted, beginning a season-long process of meticulous care. And as green fields of potatoes cover the ground, giant harvesters gently lift each tuber from the ground, keeping the skin intact to keep all the nutrients inside. We are very selective in selecting potato varieties. Only 4 varieties meet the standards: Russet Burbank, Ranger Russet, Umatilla Russet, and Sheedy. These varieties have low starch and sugar content and are long and uniform in shape, which helps create delicious, crispy fries with minimal oil absorption, said a longtime factory worker. The freshly harvested potatoes are brought to the factory and begin the cleaning process with high-pressure water jets to completely remove dirt from the surface. Next, automatic peelers meticulously remove the outer skin in just a few seconds, revealing the smooth white potato flesh inside. A modern slicing system, with precision down to the millimeter, turns the plump potatoes into long, uniform strips. This is the familiar shape of your favorite McDonald's fries. A technician on the potato cutting line once said, "We have a machine that cuts potatoes to the millimeter. Each slice of potato must be uniform so that when fried it will be golden brown and crispy as desired. Every day, our line processes tons of potatoes while maintaining uniformity and quality. After cutting, the potatoes are washed again to remove excess starch, preventing them from sticking together when fried. What few people know is that the potatoes are also blanched in hot water. This is an important secret to keeping the inside of the potatoes soft and smooth without turning black or mushy. The potatoes are then dried, then lightly fried in vegetable oil using a special recipe, before being flash frozen to retain their delicious taste and crispiness." An operator revealed, McDonald's potato frying oil is mixed with a little natural flavoring, creating a unique aroma that only McDonald's fries have. This is the secret to making the fries crispy and fragrant without being greasy. Finally, the fries go through a series of rigorous quality checks before being packaged and shipped to McDonald's restaurants around the world. Many people think that fries are the culprit of obesity, but in reality, it depends a lot on how you eat them. A small portion of fries, eaten as part of a balanced meal, will not make you gain weight if you know how to control your portion sizes. McDonald's operates a closed industrial chain model for hamburger production. Each burger goes through absolutely standardized steps, from shaping, baking, frying, to mixing ingredients and packaging. All are precisely calculated in terms of time, temperature, weight, and proportion. The result: fast speed, high productivity, and almost uniform quality in every country. The synchronization helps McDonald's provide fast, neat, consistent service in every branch around the world. It is the result of a process that is standardized down to the smallest step, something that not many fast food chains can do as thoroughly as McDonald's. Although McDonald's has a perfect production process, behind the hamburger you are holding in your hand hides many scary secrets. Hamburger, still fresh after 14 years. Chemical preservatives to blame. In 1999, David Whipple, a Utah resident, bought a McDonald's hamburger. He decided to keep it for a month to demonstrate to his friends the role of preservatives in fast food. However, Whipple forgot about the hamburger, and only 2 years later, in 2001, he accidentally found it again. Surprisingly, the hamburger was still as good as new, so Whipple decided to keep it instead of throwing it in the trash to see how long it would last. And surprisingly, in 2013, 14 years after it was purchased, the hamburger still looked like new and seemed perfectly edible. There was no sign of mold, fungus, or even a strange smell, Whipple said. The only thing that had changed over the years was that the cucumbers had decomposed. Whipple still has the receipt for this hamburger purchased in 1999. He sees the burger as a testament to his grandchildren, to encourage them to eat healthy instead of just eating fast food. This story makes many people confused, even worried about the ingredients and quality of famous fast food. After hearing the news, J. Kenji Lopez Alt, chef and administrator of a food blog called Serious Eats, decided to conduct an experiment to find out the reason behind this immortal hamburger. The final answer is humidity. The important thing to understand is that the hamburger doesn't go bad after years, not because it contains super strong preservatives or dangerous chemicals, says a food industry veteran. The secret lies in the ingredients and properties of each ingredient. When a hamburger is left out in the open air for a long time, the moisture in the bread, meat, and vegetables evaporates, leaving the burger as dry and hard as a dried food. Such a dry environment makes it difficult for bacteria and mold to grow, as they need moisture to thrive. The beef in McDonald's hamburgers is processed, cooked, and fried at high temperatures, eliminating most microorganisms. The bread contains some additives to increase the shelf life and texture of the burger. The vegetables are often processed, chopped, and no longer fresh when put into the burger. This is not an immortal burger, but a dry, slow-spoiling dish due to the lack of favorable conditions for microorganisms. The answer is that there is no need to panic about hamburgers existing for 14 years. But remember that fast food like hamburgers should be eaten immediately after being prepared to ensure nutrition and safety. Did you know that a McDonald's hamburger can make you feel full faster and longer than many other foods? But behind that feeling is a scary story about the substances in the hamburger. According to culinary experts, McDonald's hamburgers are not really a rich source of nutrition. Instead, they contain a lot of saturated fat, salt, and sugar, ingredients that increase the feeling of deliciousness and make you more addicted to the food, but do not supplement enough vitamins or minerals necessary for the body. The beef in hamburgers is selected to ensure tenderness and flavor, but most of the processing also contains additives to help retain moisture and flavor. The soft, golden bread is appealing, but it contains refined starch. a type of starch that can easily cause blood sugar to rise if eaten in large amounts. 350 calories, nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium, more than 10 grams of saturated fat. Enough sugar to send your body insulin into overdrive. And that's just the cake, not counting the large soda and fries you mindlessly ordered as part of the combo. According to WHO recommendations, an adult should consume less than 2,300 milliliters of salt per day. But with just one large hamburger from MC, you have consumed nearly 40% of that maximum salt intake. And this is not simply salty mouth. Excess salt causes blood pressure to spike, kidneys to work overtime, the body to retain water, and thus creates a chain of pressure on the cardiovascular system day after day. Not only is the hamburger loaded with salt, it's also loaded with sugar. In fact, the burger has 9 grams of sugar, which is not a small amount considering the recommended daily sugar limit. Along with that is an ingredient list that makes many nutritionists frown. To keep the burger from going moldy quickly, McDonald's uses a substance called calcium propionate to keep it fresh. And in 2018, McDonald's began phasing out artificial preservatives like potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, and calcium disodium EDTA from its famous sauce formula. What few people realize is that a hamburger contains almost no fiber, vitamins, or essential minerals. The thin slices of lettuce and a few slices of tomato are placed carelessly on the bun, which are essentially just decoration and do not provide any significant nutritional value. Structurally, a hamburger is like empty calories, meaning you're eating a lot of energy but not getting any real nutrients, says the nutritionist. No fiber, no B vitamins, no minerals, your body absorbs it quickly, your insulin spikes, but you're not getting enough nourishment. These are things that silently accumulate day by day until you suddenly realize you gain weight, have difficulty breathing, your skin is dull, your energy is low, and every time you climb the stairs it suddenly becomes a small battle with your own body. Fast food king. McDonald's has also faced a series of lawsuits for selling food that causes obesity to customers. Gregory Rimes, 15, of the Bronx, New York, has been eating at McDonald's almost every day since he was 6 years old. Just 9 years later, he weighs 400 pounds, despite being only 5 feet 7 inches tall. His favorite menu item every time he visits McDonald's is a Big Mac, plus fries and ice cream or a milkshake. "I ordered the extra-large size for every order," he said. As a result, Gregory developed diabetes before he was 15. 2 girls from the same district, Jaslyn Bradley, 19, and Ashley Pellman, 14, are also big fans of McDonald's. They both grew up on fast food and love everything on the fast food chain's menu. And they're both overweight, with Jaslyn standing 5'1" and weighing 260 pounds, while Ashley, 5'10", weighs 180 pounds. In November 2002, Gregory, Jaslyn, Ashley, and 6 other families with overweight children sued McDonald's, claiming that eating too much of the fast food giant's food had caused their children to become obese and sick. At the core of the case, according to the parents, is that the company failed to provide necessary information about the health risks associated with the food to diners. This is the first lawsuit against a food company to go to trial. For McDonald's, the lawsuit was particularly troubling. The company was forced to reduce the fat content of some of its products, especially its most popular snack item, French fries. The lawsuit also exploded at a timely time, when obesity was warned to be increasing sharply in the U.S. A 2001 study by the Medical Association showed that more than half of adults in this country were overweight. Severe obesity at that time was reported to cause 280,000 deaths each year, of which 11% were children. And the number of obese American children has tripled in the past 2 decades. Meanwhile, McDonald's spokesman Walt Riker denied that McDonald's targets children in its advertising. "Nobody cares more about children than McDonald's," he said. After nearly 3 months of worldwide media hysteria, On January 22, 2003, a federal judge in Manhattan dismissed the lawsuit. He said he did so that people can take responsibility for what they eat. The judge said the plaintiffs had failed to show that McDonald's engaged in deceptive practices and that consumers lacked adequate access to information about its products. No one is forced to eat at McDonald's, the judge said. However, this is still a warning to fast food lovers around the world, especially MC Donald. Although the production process is great, the fat content of a hamburger is really too much, while the fiber and vitamins are too little. The process of making a hamburger at McDonald's is almost perfect, fast, precise, and synchronized down to the smallest detail. However, behind that appeal is a warning that cannot be ignored. Consuming hamburgers too often can make your body heavy, accumulate excess fat, and increase the risk of obesity. Remember, not everything that tastes good is good for your health. Be conscious in your choices, because what you eat today will determine your health and fitness in the future. What we share in the video is for reference only and is analyzed from many perspectives. Please combine other sources of information for a more complete and objective view.